How is it going, Database? Says no data here, and welcome back to another episode of Roblox Assassin. And today on Assassin, I want to do a video that I've actually been wanting to do for a long time, months actually, probably about a year by now. This is the types of players in Assassin. There are many different types of players in Assassin, ladies and gentlemen, and in this video, we are going to go over most of them. Probably not all of them, but you know, most of them. We are going to talk about what they do, and the pros and the cons and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. If you guys are excited for this video, then be sure to drop a like. It helps out a whole lot. Also, we are currently doing an Elegant Saber giveaway. So if you want to enter that, all you need to do is subscribe and then click the eye in the top right corner. And then you'll be automatically entered into the giveaway. Anyway, without further ado, we are going to begin. And the first type of player is the Bacon Hairs. Now, the Bacon Hairs aren't just in Roblox Assassin. In fact, they're in pretty much every Roblox game. And we've pretty much all seen the Bacon Hairs before. Obviously, they are the default outfit, so you know, they didn't change their outfit at all. They're pretty new to the game. They're generally a very, very low prestige. There are some pretty high prestige Bacon Hairs, but usually they're very low prestige. And they usually have nothing but basic knife, because they are brand new to the game. They're just trying out the game, and you know, they didn't change their clothes at all, so they are brand new to the game. Now, a lot of people are honestly pretty mean to Bacon Hairs because, you know, they're brand new to the game and they're very bad at playing the game because they're new. But they can be very, very nice people. So, I don't know, if you strike up a conversation with the Bacon Hair, maybe you'll make a new friend. I don't know, man. Number 2, the Beggars. We've probably all dealt with these types of players at some point. Me, personally, I've been getting Beggars since my first ever unicorn knife. And much like the name implies, they will beg you, and I mean beg you, to give them a knife for free. They will ask you over and over and over again. A lot of people do not like these types of players because, you know, they get annoying very, very quickly because they keep asking over and over again. And because of a bunch of people doing that constantly, a lot of people really hate Beggars. Now, a lot of people assume that I hate Beggars just because of how many I get. Personally, no, I don't necessarily hate them. Like, obviously, I'm going to decline because I can't give everybody a free knife. But, you know, I don't really hate them if they keep asking over and over again. However, what I find interesting is just how dedicated some of the Beggars are. I'm not even kidding. I've had multiple Beggars where they would just beg for an hour straight. I'm not even kidding. They would type and keep asking for a free knife for, like, hours straight. Which, you know, cool. It's great that you have that sort of dedication, but it makes me wonder, why can't you use that dedication to get a knife yourself? Like, I'm not even trying to say this in a mean way. I'm not trying to, like, expose anyone here, but, like, if you could sit there for an hour just typing, asking for a free knife, why don't you spend that hour grinding tokens to get a knife yourself? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I appreciate your dedication, really, I do, but why don't you just use that dedication somewhere else? Beggars come in a wide range of prestiges, but generally they're in the lower prestiges. And another problem I have with the Assassin community is, I feel like people focus too much on knives at lower prestiges. Like, I've seen a lot of Beggars that are like, Prestige 1 level 20, Prestige 1 level 10, Prestige 1 level 1. Listen, when I was Prestige 1 level 1, I did not care about knives at all. Like, genuinely, I did not care about knives at all. I just wanted to play the game. And, like, I don't understand why people beg at such a low level. Like, you're level 10. Don't you just want to, like, play the game and, like, get a feel for the game? Focus on getting better at the game? Don't you just want to play? Like, I get it. The economy in Assassin is very important, alright? Knives are vital to keeping this game alive, because without knives, it would just be constant, same gameplay. But, like, when you're at very low level, don't you just want to, like, play the game first? Like, focus on knives later. It takes a while to get knives, you know? Number 3, the Scammers. These are the criminals of Roblox Assassin. They go out of their way to manipulate other people to get free knives from them and basically give them nothing in return. So I actually did a types of scammers video a very, very long time ago, so I'm not going to go too much detail into it in this video. If you want to see more detail, click the eye in the top right corner. But I'm just going to give one example of a scammer. Basically, a scammer would say that they will give you free Robux if you give them a free knife. And once you give them a free knife, they're just gonna leave and not give you any Robux, and you're just gonna be sad. Now, scammers come in many different prestiges. However, I tend to think that the best scammers are usually higher in prestige. And yeah, scammers are basically the scum of Roblox Assassin, alright? You do not want to associate yourself with a scammer. Number 4, the hackers. These types of players are pretty rare to find, but when you do find them, man, is it annoying. There are many different types of exploits in Assassin. The speed hack, the high jump, the auto kill, the aimbot, the join hacks, you name it. And basically they just hack Assassin for their own personal gain, whether it's to get tokens or whether it's just to mess with people. We don't really know, but they hack the game and it's super annoying. However, Assassin does have an exploiter report form, which I will put in the description. So luckily, you know, if you record a hacker, we can actually get rid of these types of players, which is good. Number 5, the pros. These players have very high prestiges and very big inventories, and you pretty much see them in every single competitive mode leaderboard. You will see them pretty often because of how much they have to grind. They join clans, they get on the competitive leaderboard, they do a bunch of trades, they pretty much know all the values, a bunch of stuff like that. But yeah, they're pretty cool players overall. And these types of players actually leads me to the next type of players. Number 6, the skeletons. The skeletons can very easily fit into the pro players category, however there's so many of them, I just had to bring them up in this video. Basically, once there's a competitive season going around, these types of players believe that it is Halloween every single day. Basically what they do is they buy the Arthro skeleton outfit and they use it in Assassin. The reasoning behind this is the skeleton has a very skinny body, so in theory, you should have a smaller hitbox on your character. These types of players also think that it's Christmas every day because they also use the Candy Blade exotic knife. Again, because of the hitbox. The Candy Blade is a very big knife, and in theory, it should have a bigger hitbox than the other knives. Except for the fact that hitboxes in Assassin are all the same. The developers of Assassin have already confirmed this. Every player has the same exact hitbox on themselves, and every single knife has the exact same hitbox. A Candy Blade has the exact same hitbox of a basic knife, or a behemoth, or a proton. And an Arthro skeleton has the exact same hitbox of an R6 1.0 character. Now, I'm not going to completely bash these players, even though there's a bunch of them, and at this point it's just getting overrated and annoying, but they do have the right train of thought. As a skeleton, yes, your hitbox is exactly the same as any other player. However, it is a lot harder to see you because first of all, you're completely white. So in some maps, it could be really hard to see you, like Arctic base because of the white snow. You could very much blend into the snow, but also in other maps, you're just a lot smaller and a lot skinnier. So it is a lot harder to see you, and mentally, it's a lot harder to throw a knife at you. And with the Candy Blade, yeah, it does have the same hitbox as a basic knife. However, when you're using a Candy Blade, you know, Candy Blade is the biggest knife in the game. So when you throw it, it's a lot easier to see where the knife is going as opposed to something like a smaller knife like a proton. So that makes it mentally much easier to aim with Candy Blade just because you can have a much clearer idea on where the knife is going as opposed to a smaller knife where you can't exactly see where it's going. You have a basic idea, but you kind of have to guess. With Candy Blade, you can see exactly where it's going and make much better throws. So yeah, while the reasoning behind the skeletons is a little silly, they do have the right idea, and it may or may not help some rounds in competitive play. Probably not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Like if you're not a skeleton and you're not using Candy Blade, the odds are pretty much exactly the same. Being a skeleton might help a teensy tiny bit, but really not that much overall. Number 7, the campers. The campers are usually low-level players that, in general, are kinda just scared to play the game. The main purpose of Assassin is to survive, obviously, just to survive. You don't necessarily have to kill anyone, you just gotta be the last man standing. So the strategy of these players is to hide in a specific part of the map and basically waits until everybody else dies. And if somebody happens to dare step into their territory, they would catch them by surprise and just stab them, and then their opponent is dead and the player can just go back to hiding. Campers are usually frowned upon by the assassin community because it doesn't really take a lot of skill and it's kind of just cheap. You know, when you're walking around, you're feeling good, and then you just get killed by a camper in a corner, you kind of feel mad about it. But you can't really hate on campers too much because whether you like it or not, camping is a strategy, alright? It is something you can do in the game, it is a way to win, it is indeed a strategy. But the community usually hates them just because they're super annoying. It's like when you're playing a fighting game, right? And, you know, you're going against somebody and, you know, your opponent has a bunch of moves at their disposal. But despite that fact, they only use the exact same move all the time. Now, yes, that is a strategy. That is something you can do, but it can get very annoying, especially if that move is very, very good. However, much like when you're playing a fighting game, if your opponent uses the same move over and over again, you can eventually predict them and punish them for it. Campers are indeed annoying, but eventually you will kind of start to learn where the campers are good to go. You know, usually campers tend to be in one specific spot because that spot is good for camping. Once you learn those spots, you can be much more prepared and not get caught by surprise by a camper. Not to mention that your final target gets revealed long before you approach them. So, you know, if it's a 1v1 with the last person and they're a camper, you kind of know to expect them. You're not going to get caught by surprise at the very last seconds of the round. And on the plus side, there are never ever campers in deathmatch mode. I'm serious. I've played Assassin for a very, very long time now. I have never once seen a camper in deathmatch mode. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. That is all of the types of players. Well, not all the types of players. I'm sure there's a lot more. As a matter of fact, comment down below any other types of players you guys can think of. And if we get a lot more types of players, then maybe I will make another video. Maybe a part 2. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think that's a good idea? So yeah, comment down below any types of players you guys think that I missed. And that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Assassin. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and those are the things that YouTube people do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay purple.